The Lost Souls of Angelkov, another Linda Holman book. I'm going to read a little bit just here in the back to you because this is from the author herself. She writes a little bit in the acknowledgments under the back. I grew up hearing pieced together stories. It's lovely getting old. I grew up hearing pieced together stories of life in Russia in the early part of the 20th century. I listened to my father and grandmother speak Russian at the dinner table, and my grandmother whispered her language to me in bed at night. Now, this is true. This isn't part of the story. It's during this, because of the suspicion and distrust surrounding the Soviet Union during the Cold War, having a Russian heritage was something I was taught to suppress. But the intrigue surrounding my grandparents' lives in villages near Odessa and St. Petersburg before they fled in the hopes of a brighter future filled me with a longing to understand what was, inexplicitly to me as a child, dark and secretive. It was this part of my past that drew me to write about Russia decades later. I started with an incident from my grandmother's life, which I fictionalized for the novel. She watched her 5-year-old brother being stolen by Cossacks on a muddy road outside her village home, and he was never seen again. Oh, that's terrible. But anyways, so the book starts off with a kidnapping of Antonina's son. Now, Antonina is a princess, but it's not all fun and games because she's very much restricted by her gender and her class, and you can guess right off that she's forced to marry somebody that's much older than her, who's in his 50s because money, right? And she can't do things because, you know, she has to follow the stereotypical, you know, placement of everything, and her father's very strict about this stuff, and she has a very big heart, and she cares, and that's really hard on her because her dad's very strict about no talking to the servants. You know, servants do their job. Oh, I'm sorry. I just lost my voice totally. It's late. See, I told you I was going to bed. Servants do their job. If they don't do their job right, if you're not happy with servants doing their job, you get rid of them. You lash them, you know, or you get rid of them, you kill them, or you send them off to work in the deepest ditch you can find. So, and he feels like, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, they're serfs. They're not educated. They don't know anything. They don't need to know anything. They never will know anything because their bloodline is lower class. And she doesn't see it this way. She has a hard time with it. And he's that way with everything in life. It's very cold, and she's very feeling and nice. So she likes the servants. Now, the people in this book, a lot of them have 2 or 3 names. Like, they have the same name. Antonina, I don't know if I'm saying that right. They also call her Tosya, Tosya. Now, I guess this is supposed to be a short form. I don't know. The son, Misha, his real name is Mikhail. But Mikhail or Misha, I don't know. He could have other titles. The one man in the story, Grisha, his real name is Timofey, but people usually call him Tima. And now he's called Gesha or Grisha or something like that. So that makes it a little bit difficult because of the confusing names. It's taken in Russia, 1860s. And we'll see where it goes. It's a pretty thick book, and I'm not very far into it. So far, it's a lot of introduction still. It has a boy being kidnapped, and then it goes into Grisha's life, and then it goes into her life as a child, and what she goes through with her dad, and her mom. And that's as far as it's gone yet. We've just don't know what's going to happen with the boy yet, who was kidnapped. Have to find out.